Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where today we have the Marvel Legends, Hasbro Marvel Legends Rider Series, Professor X. So yeah, let's get this guy open and we'll take a look at him and yeah. First let's look at all of the nice artwork. You got that on the side, same artwork on the other side. Get the product shot on the back, the cross sell for this, which I do want to get this because I'm a big fan of Deadpool Corps. Or Deadpool Corps, however you want to pronounce it. I'm a very big fan of that comic book series. I have since I was a kid, so that's on my radar. But it's like I don't need the Deadpool. I mean, I do like that version of Deadpool, but he's like it's an all old figure. But I do really want the dog pool and the squirrel pool, and the actual moped's pretty cool too. But you got the read up for Professor X. Everyone knows Professor X, so I don't really need to read that up. You got all of the stuff, you got the stuff, X-Men logo. Get this motherfucker open. Let's see how we feel about it. Just a fair warning, well, number one, I actually really like that artwork on the inside. I don't keep the artwork really, but that if any Marvel Legends was to tempt me with artwork, it'd be that. That's really nice artwork. It's very X-Men 97, X-Men the Animated Series. I think that's actually genuinely just X-Men the Animated Series. At least that's just looking at Rogue. I feel like Rogue and Jean look very X-Men Animated Series. They all kind of do, but I don't know if this is meant to be that or just Jim Lee. I mean, to be fair, the X-Men Animated Series is just Jim Lee storylines, and I mean, not all of it's just Jim Lee storylines, but a lot of it's the Jim Lee, art and all that, like just put to animation. So I'm actually gonna just I'll be right back with this stuff. Okay, and now I have everything out of the assembly, and we'll put it all together. Or at least attempt to put it all together. Let's see. So these two halves will go together, I'm assuming. But before that, assuming you do this, something like that, maybe. Do this. I don't know how that would go. I don't know. Hold on, let's see. Something like that, maybe. I actually don't know. Oh. Okay, so that piece right there, there's actually a rod, that you push down in that part, and then you go, I believe you go like that, slot that in, you slot the sides together, I'm assuming. Okay, and then they close on together, and then you just push them, sandwich them together, push them on that, do that, and then make sure you get all of that pushed together. Okay, and then you got the hover chair. So that's really all of this Professor X comes with for the most part. I mean, he has a few other accessories, but they're kind of all hover chair accessories. I mean, the Professor X himself is just a suited body, you get all of the articulation out of a suited body, especially it's pinned. That's why this figure is cool and all, but I wish he would have came with at least alternate hands for each side, and then yeah, I don't know, maybe a couple extra heads or something, because there's really not much you can do with the Professor X body figure, but because all you're gonna have him doing is sitting in this chair, honestly, unless you turn this into a different character. But this is Professor X, so I don't know why you would do that. The draw for this is the actual hover chair. But at least the hover chair has really cool stuff like this. You can slide these out. It's got control panels, which is really cool. You got like that there. This is pretty cool. This reminds me of the new MODOK kind of. And then you have like this lap blanket that you just slide in there, I feel like. I feel like that works. I don't need to push it down in there. It just works just like that, actually. So you have him, wearing the blanket. And yeah, that's exactly how he's going to be on my shelf. And then for accessories, you get the Cerebro helmet. So put that in. And this part actually doesn't want to plug back in, but it does come out. You got the cum blast on the back of it, which I will never use, but this could work for like maybe like a web shooter explosion, like maybe Peter's like web shooter gets shot by like the Punisher or something cool like that. That could be cool. But yeah, so you just slip the Cerebro right on. And I don't think he's gonna have the Cerebro on for me because this Cerebro kind of doesn't fit on his head. It looks a little goofy. I think that's how it's meant to be worn, is like that, right? Yeah. Right? Am I just an idiot? It's been a while since I've seen this. I don't know. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go, right? Or like that, maybe? No, it's supposed to go like that. Okay, I'm just an idiot, because those would go over there. But, yeah, this is probably not something I'm ever going to use for this Professor X, honestly. It's cool and all. But this would I'd probably put like the Cerebro on like maybe Jean Grey or somebody like that, which it works just as well for her. Speaking of which, I don't have a Jean Grey close by, but I do have a Mafex X-Men figure, so and then he comes with the Shadow King head, which I saw people put this on the Kingpin body when this was making its rounds, and then they'd put the Monster Venom hands on there. I think I might try to pick up the Monster Venom bootleg to get the hands, and then I'll put those on the new Kingpin from the PS4 or PS5. No, it's from PS4 because he's not in the PS5 one. That one, the Gamerverse Kingpin, because I prefer seeing Shadow King. I feel like in a more black suit, but it's nice. I liked when they did this. I wish they'd kind of get back to doing this, although it's better just to have the figure than it is to have the head. So, and if they're gonna do the head, it'd be better for them to put it with the character you can put the head on, because there's nobody that's putting this Shadow King head on this Professor X. But those glasses are a separate piece, but they want to come off very easily, so be careful. And yeah, it looks pretty cool, so I'm glad to have this. And that's kind of the whole appeal of this, is everything. I just showed everything he comes with. Literally all you're gonna do with this figure is just sit him like that. Maybe have him like accessing one of the control panels, you know. But even then, I'm just gonna have him like this, just up there. So for size comparisons, we'll just get into size comparisons. So number one, we have the X-Men 97 Magneto. This is the only Magneto I have. Until I get a better Magneto, that's the Magneto that I use. And then the Marvel Legends 2-pack Juggernaut. So they all look pretty good together. And then I have the Marvel Legends 2-pack Colossus, and that looks pretty cool. And I have the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends Iceman, and those look pretty cool together too. And then I have the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Cyclops, and right now he has the Mezco like unmasked head on right now. And then I have I forgot what Wolverine this is, but this is just a Wolverine that I've been using for like, you know, size comparisons, but they all look pretty good together. And then I have the Marvel Legends, I think this is a retro 80th anniversary Deadpool, and then the Mafex Psylocke. So I do have another Psychic in there. So they all look pretty good together too. And then last but not least, we have the Mezco Cyclops. Just in case you want to do more classic Avengers stuff. Or not Avengers, sorry, X-Men stuff. And then I have the Mezco Wolvie. That looks pretty cool too. And yeah, they all look pretty nice together. I guess if you wanted to do some non-domestic stuff, we have a couple SH figure arts here we can show. I mean, I already showed the Mafex, but I can show the SHF Zorro. And then I also have, I have the Marvel Legends Agent Venom, and then the 20th anniversary Captain America, just because it reminds me of X-Men 97 and Cap made an appearance in that show. So yeah, that's everything, guys. Thanks for watching. This is really not a figure that I don't recommend. It's not like the most articulated figure, but who needs a really articulated Professor X? Even when he's like not in the wheelchair and he can walk, he's really kind of just walking and doing mind stuff. So that's exactly what this Professor X is going to be on my shelf. I would like for in the future maybe to get a Mezco Professor X. I think Mezco would tackle Professor X the best because they could just give us a nice underbody and then just put a suit on him. Maybe give him a couple different like suit options. Get Cerebro on there, a bunch of different heads, hands. And they could probably do some really cool shit with the hover chair and with like magnets or something to propel it. And then I also know that they'd probably give us the wheelchair. So I really hope that they do that. So yeah, thanks for watching everyone, and bye.